Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this 6 morning coffee. I'm very pleased to be here with you again for a talk about building a unique destination. Good morning to our Vice President and Director of Destination Development, Lorenzo Vera. Thank you for being by my side again this morning and for sharing with us how MedCruise can help our members to develop their destination in a unique one.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Anne-Marie, for hosting me today again. It's a really pleasure, dear guests and members. Let me give you a very brief introduction of the destination development task. We have like 3 points that I like to highlight. In the Med will be created a crew-friendly area, creating a network supporting a crew-friendly environment. Collaboration with all the destinations ecosystem, we will open discussion to develop this strategy and also to promote products of high quality, immersive, and sustainable of all the Med destinations. In this task, we would like to highlight the recognition to the uniqueness of every destination, no matter its volume or origin. So, Marie, I'm here.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lorenzo. Let me now introduce you our 3 valued guests. Zeljka, Product Development Manager at Scenic Cruises. Good morning, Zeljka.
Good morning, Anne-Marie. Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited to be on having a coffee with you this morning.
Thank you so much. We have with us too Jennifer Garcia Moreno from the Technical and Commercial Department of the Port of Huelva. Good morning, Jennifer. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning. And we'll be joined by Miguel Reyna, Chief Development and Asset Management Officer at Cruise Saudi. But before we start, I would like to have a deep thought for our colleagues and friends from the port of Odessa and for the people of Ukraine. For more than a month now, we are shattered by all the images who come from Ukraine, far below the human tragedies that people are living there. Here at MedCruise, our priority is to make sure that our friends in Ukraine and Black Sea region are safe and secure. And of course, we all hope and pray for peace to be restored and the war to end the soonest. Because any country in the world deserves to be in the news for their ruins, but to celebrate their beauties, and Ukraine has so many of them. Zeljka, please allow me to use some of your words about Ukraine to remind all of us its several beauties. Ukraine is the largest European country and culturally very rich, with 7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Many of its cities have long histories and had well-preserved historic centers. Ukraine has also impressive castles and fortresses that remind of the country's glorious past. The vast tracts of arable land with fertile black soil makes it an ideal place to grow wheat and other food crops, and as such, it was nicknamed the breadbasket of Europe. Zeljka, you posted those words in a beautiful post about Ukraine on LinkedIn at the beginning of the war, reminding us it is easy to destroy, it is hard to create. For a few months now, you are regularly posting inspiring publications there, your Terra Magica posts about our 195 known and less known countries around the world, underlining the beauty of each one, sharing with your readers 5 only positive, it's your hashtag, only positive curiosities you found interesting about them. I have to say, watching the world through your eyes is a unique experience. So my first question is, Zeljka, when you are visiting a destination you've never been before, how do you find those positive curiosities we were talking about?
Well, obviously, before I go to the destination, I do a lot of research. I read a lot about the country, but not just touristic publications. I also read a lot of blogs from local people, from people who travel there. And I think it's all about the focus. I always try to find positive things in every destination I travel. I think a lot of destinations are unfairly judged based only on negative news we hear from them. We only hear about political situations or drug dealing cartels, or just from certain countries you only get this negative publicity, I would say. And I think it's not fair. I think every country in the world, every destination has a positive things, and we should focus on positive, and we should look for positive. And when we start looking for positive, then we are going to find the positive things as well. And so far, I haven't been to a destination to which I would say, oh, that was such a boring and not interesting place. There is always something nice. The other important thing which I've learned when it comes to product setup and research is ask the locals. So I think local people are invaluable source of information about the options in each country, in each destination. When you ask local people, then you will always find out those little treasures that are not known publicly. Oh, this is such a beautiful place and nobody even knows about it. And I think it's really worth to ask local people what they would recommend in their own country, in their own destination. And there is always some true miracle to be found in every place.
Thank you.
Zeljka, talking about Scenic is talking about discovery. The Met is a region offers many possibilities, of course, and let's say honestly, it is highly competitive. What can make a difference so you can still build a unique itineraries in the second cruise region of the world?
Well, on one side, Med is the second most cruised region. So you could say like everything is explored and, it's a huge competition. But I don't see it like that. I see a region that is absolutely perfect for cruise business. Europe and Med have so much cultural and historical diversity in between the countries. So there is so much to offer. We have so many little ports. We have so many islands. We have so many beautiful hidden gems that you could sail to. So I think this is a huge advantage of Mediterranean compared to the rest of the world, I would say, where you have a big vast of space, but you don't really have a lot of options. You don't really have a lot of ports to stop in. You don't have a lot of diversity, which Europe amazingly, thanks to its cultural and historical heritage, has. So when you move from Spain to Italy to Portugal to Turkey to Greece to Croatia, like everything is different. Architecture is different. Language is different. Nature is different. Culture is different. People are different. Languages are different. So in a very short time span that you spend on the cruise, we can really introduce a lot of different things. So I think Med as such is, for me, I know it's second to Caribbeans when it comes to number, but for me, obviously, it's the first one in the world, because I think from the things it can offer, it really is like a heaven for cruise business.
We are so happy to hear that, Zeljka. Thank you.
You know that, so.
I think Miguel has joined us. Miguel, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, everybody, and apologies for being late. I had a mixed up on the time.
No worries. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning with the jet lag. We're gonna first, before we start talking about Cruise Saudi, one of our latest members and one of the latest cruise destination, would like to play a short video, and then we'll talk about it. Thank you.
Aspiration, a place where ambition meets preparation. We're on the horizon, diving deep into undiscovered waters. A sea of opportunities unfolds for the world to see, and we see every one of them. We are welcoming the world to witness natural wonders, underwater treasures, exotic beaches, archaeological sites, and experience the gracious culture and heritage of the kingdom that is Saudi Arabia.
Introducing compelling stories, offering an enchanting, immersive world all its own. And around every corner, unspoken tales, passions, perspectives, unnoticed sentiments that you won't unsee. That's one cruise away. Discover Cruise Saudi.
Miguel, it is very exciting for us to see the birth of a cruise destination, but I guess for you it's also a great professional challenge, I guess.
It is indeed, and I thank you very much for the opportunity. As you guys saw in the video, it's a beautiful country. There's a lot of history, and there's also a story to be told. So I'm very excited to be part of this project, and I can tell you that every day is a challenge, but we all very happy and very much enjoying the experience.
Let's first enjoy Huelva with the short video as well.
O sea, me están viendo, los estoy viendo, pero no funciona. Su altavoz no funciona con problemas.
Wow, was two great destinations, no? I really want to go now. So Jennifer.
Thank you very much.
Jennifer, to build a unique destination, you need to meet customers' expectations, but also cruise lines' ones. In terms of ports infrastructures, Huelva can technically welcome big ships, but has decided to focus its commercial strategy on small cruise lines and mega yachts sector. How did you come to this decision?
But thank you very much for inviting me, first of all. Okay. Well, let me tell you that for many years, the port of Huelva was a boot port, okay, with no cruise. It was a cargo, had a cargo traffic. However, one day they realized that Huelva had a lot of potential for cruises, both as a port and as a destination. As a port because it has a great geographical location for the Atlantic Mediterranean route and also for those coming from the Caribbean. It has first class infrastructure, very good connectivity, renewable energies such as LNG. It is a sheltered port, open 24 hours a day with no problem of tide, but also as a destination. Huelva has a wide variety of tourist offer, cultural offer with various civilizations that have passed through the city, gastronomic offer. It was the gastronomic capital in 2017. Nature offer with the Doñana National Park, which is a UNESCO World Heritage site, and it had a big number of natural sites. In Huelva, you can enjoy also its beach, and with 122 kilometers of coast, and nautical activity, golf, many things. So for this reason, the Port Authority of Huelva, together with Huelva Port, is starting to work on positioning Huelva as a destination for cruise lines. And the destination was gaining more and more strength. However, the regular cargo traffic in the south world, the world where the cruise line were based, was increasing more and more. So we needed to change the site for cruise ships adapted to its needs. Also analyzing the cruise market, we saw that passengers prefer to get to the heart of the city and to have a greater sense of freedom with no mass of tourism. They needed connecting with the destination, the culture, having unique experiences. But not only were passenger trends changing, also the cruise industry. We know the trend for small cruise is growing, and in general, the luxury expedition, cruises on river cruise. And we know that the latest orders in the shipyards are focused on smaller ships, smaller number of passengers with higher quality in terms of space, decoration, and with more efficient design. So in conclusion, the luxury cruise sector was increasing. Then we saw that the Port of Huelva also had to turn toward this sector and adapt the Levante Wharf, which is in the city center. And it has to be the main cruise wharf for now. So we had clear that the orientation of the Port of Huelva had to see to be a boutique port. And that's why.
Thank you.
Good, thank you. Miguel, you have a long experience in the cruise industry. We all know you. What touched or amazed you in the first place in Saudi Arabia? So you told yourself, this will be a unique cruise destination. Or you are muting. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Emilia, and the introduction. Yes, I did a little bit of homework before I made this decision to move from Miami to Saudi Arabia. And when I did my research, I found that there was a plan, which is called the Vision 2030 plan. And the Vision 2030 plan is a strategic framework to diversify the economy of Saudi Arabia from oil into other industries. In order to reach this plan, there are a lot of projects in the country right now that are underway. And these projects are very unique, and there's a lot of innovation. So I saw the opportunity to participate as part of the cruise project to create an industry to support cruise tourism. And I knew that this will bring a lot of innovation. It will bring the potential to create new business models. And this is what attracted me to the opportunity. In addition to that, again, the country was undiscovered. Their first tourist visas were issued in 2019, third quarter to 2019. Prior to that, tourists were not allowed into Saudi Arabia. So this is a country that has been closed. And you can imagine how many people were excited to see that this opened. So as soon as they issued the visas, we saw a lot of tourists coming in. And I thought, this actually created a lot of potential and demand. In addition to that, there's 6 UNESCO sites. So there's a lot of culture, but a lot of this was not developed. There's no cruise tourism infrastructure. So all of this needs to be developed. And the government, again, with different initiatives, is actually building all of this infrastructure. The other element that actually attracted me to this was that I saw the possibility to work with different groups, locally and externally, to actually, carry out the development, because you can't just do this individually. You really need to partner. You really need to work with locals, and you need to work with international organizations. So as you can see, there was a lot of factors that weighted into my decision, and I'm very happy so far with everything that I accomplished.
Zeljka, after 2 years of pandemic, we often talk about a new normal. What are the actual trends a destination needs to follow to adapt itself and stay competitive?
Well, I think one of the good things that came out of the pandemics actually is that destinations started to rethink tourism in general, not just cruise businesses. And Jennifer also mentioned that destinations are looking how to become more sustainable, which I think is absolutely great thing that came out of the pandemic. So you see, not always positives. Always look at the bright side. I think that it gave also the opportunity to destinations that are off the beaten tracks, because it also gave an opportunity to cruise lines to kind of reassess the product they have. Plus, because of social distancing and all that, people want to actually go where others are not going. So it is a trend now that new destinations are searched for actively. In the past, it was more like on a production line. Everybody's going to Barcelona, everybody's going to Rome, everybody's going to Dubrovnik, everybody's going to Venice. So we have to go to Dubrovnik and Venice and Rome's of this world and Barcelona's. And now I think everybody's actually searching for new destinations. So I think it's a great news, both for the business and for the local ports and the new ports that are coming to the market. The other thing that came up as a general trend are smaller groups. So hopefully, I think that trend will continue after the whole pandemic thing is over, because once it gives more opportunity to guests to explore, so it's much easier to get the feeling of a local culture and the local community when you're in a smaller group than when you're following, the famous lollipop tours, and on the right is the church and on the left is the castle. So I actually think that after 2 years of pandemics, we are actually much better off in a sense of some sustainable development and nicer opportunities that we will have for the guests in the future that we probably wouldn't have had if there was no pandemics. I think then we would just continue to grow and grow and grow and push on traditional cruise destinations more and more and more until they break. So I think actually there are some good trends on the market at the moment.
Good. Yes. Always see the bright side.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We are taking notes, Zeljka, the small parts. We are taking notes, everyone. No.
Good.
Jennifer, talking about new, we know you have a great project of a new marina in Huelva. Can you tell us more about it? And we're going to share a picture of the project as well, so
yeah, sure.
Everyone can see what is going on in Huelva.
Thank you. Yes, it is one of the most awaited project right now in the city, as we believe it will change the image of the Levante Wharf. And in addition, with the transformation of all infrastructure in Levante Wharf for cruise lines. So talking about dimensions, I can tell you that it is going to have 80,000 square meters for cultural and leisure space, on a 7,200 square meters from platform piloted over the water, on the water. We did not want to occupy a more surface area of the wharf in order to not take away public space. And this has been a pioneering project in Spain with the entire infrastructure of the marina on water. In terms of service, it will have yacht club, shopping and leisure zone, gymnasium and sports school, exclusive access area for maritime excursions, 400 berths for yachts, pleasure boats from 6 to 40 meters in length, transit berth for vessels up to 60 meters in length also. It will be built with environmental friendly construction materials, will be supplied by renewable energy sources. in accordance with ECO 20 certification. That's what I can say.
I'm sure
I think it's gonna be very nice for the citizen and for the passengers. It's gonna be, you know, you arrive to the wharf and you find that, so it's gonna be very fantastic.
Yes, it's gonna be really nice for cruise guests. Really,
it looks terrific for me. So
you're not very far. You can visit as soon as you want.
we are only 4 hours by car, no? So Jennifer, you are now focused in developing the luxury cruise sector. Which actions do you take and which service do you propose to attract this particular sector with high expectations?
Well, Huelva has many attractions that take you in love on the ground, but obviously we have to the excursion and everything have to be adapted for luxury cruise passengers who want to unique experiences in destination. I could tell you many, but to give you some samples of experiences, one of the most freaking is to make a pilgrimage to the village of the Rocio, recreating the pilgrim that is made by horse carriage on the corresponding day. Another one, for example, another curious attraction is the visit to the Dehesa Biosphere Reserve, where the origin and purity Iberian pig breed. Visit the Habugo dryers and cellars and receive the explanation of the process of the elaboration of the Serrano ham, and also where you can enjoy a tasting section. The food market is another of Huelva great treasure. We know the importance of the gastronomy on luxury cruises ships, and we offer a unique quality product such as fish, clams, prawns, strawberries, blueberries, that have a great importance here in Huelva. So a great number of flavors that you can taste in Huelva. And in addition, as we have already mentioned, the transformation of the Levante Wharf with the marina, with the laser zone, with quality restaurants, shops, nautical services. It is a meeting place on the arrival of passenger, and they are looking also for a place where they can enjoy see. The wharf is also located in the city center, and right next there is a promenade where passengers can enjoy a place for outdoor sports, walk by the sea and enjoy the music, having a glass of wine with a perfect temperature for wearing a t-shirt, and I think it's gonna be very, very nice, this promenade. So I don't know, I think is a more or less what we have. We have more, but we don't. I don't have time to explain everything we have here in Huelva. Thank you.
That already sounds really, really, really nice to visit. Miguel, we were talking. You talked before how exciting the locals were when the destination opened. You did a lot of educational programs in Saudi Arabia to develop the destination in collaboration with local teams, right?
Yes, we did. We did. We have to, the cruise industry is, and cruise tourism is new to Saudi Arabia. And our plan was to educate the local population, the local sourcing market, to make them aware of cruising as a leisure activity, as a vacation. And this actually is a process that is ongoing. It takes a lot of time to build a local market. At the start of the cruise season in July, the numbers were very low. When we ended the season last Saturday, the numbers had actually gone up. So it's taking time for the market to grow, but the education is key. There are different types of ships, there are different types of experiences, the different type of preferences. We work not only with the travel agents and the tour agents, but also with the authorities, because there was no framework to create a good experience for the cruise vessels coming in, because all the framework was for regular commercial vessels. So we have to introduce changes. We have to ask for some different procedures, and this is still work in progress, but it's progressing.
So Miguel,
excuse me.
Sorry, I'm
one
sorry.
more question. You also have collaboration with partnerships with universities, with local universities.
Yes. We actually, what we did is, this is a very young country. 75% of the population is under 35 years old. So a lot of them are still starting their careers. So what we did is, as we have a new industry, we wanted to introduce college graduates into the cruise industry. So we partnered with 2 universities, and with the help of MSC, we brought them on board to work on board with the cruise ships, and kind of being the link between the local guests and the cruise line. So they really help, in customer service. They help to explain to the cruise line, what is that they need to do to tailor the offering on board for the local market. And there were 60 students from one university. We signed another agreement a couple of months ago with another university. So these are programs that are recurring. They will continue. And some of the students that graduated have actually found careers now working for MSC. We're actually looking to hire some of them to work for us. So we're starting a pipeline of local talent to work with us.
Great.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lorenzo, I interrupted you.
Congratulations, Miguel. It's very inspiring. So in your opinion, collaboration with local is key to build a unique destination?
Yes, absolutely. Again, because this is something new, you need to find ways for people to help you. And the only way to find the ways is to make it a win-win for both parties, right? So we work with tourism, we work with the port authorities, we work with different agencies that actually have to do with the embarkation of the processing of guests. And you need to add value. You need to create something that adds value to their function, and it helps them, it makes them look good. So at the beginning, again, trying to explain the benefits, it was difficult, but now that they've seen 50,000 passengers going through the ports, they're beginning to see what it means, and they like it. At the beginning, we had immigration officers, wearing their combat fatigues, and talking to a cruise guest, and no customer service skills whatsoever, right? Now we have female officers, with different outfits, a lot more friendlier and a lot more hospitable and more welcoming. So these are all changes that are taking time, as we go through this, and they start to embrace the industry. So it's definitely collaborating at all levels.
Zeljka, the point of view from a cruise line. Scenic is one of the first cruise lines going in Saudi Arabia. I know you were there too. What kind of experience you had there that makes it, in your opinion, a unique destination for your guests?
Well, I think Saudi Arabia is a very, very interesting destination with a lot of potential. We were one of the first ships that actually sailed in Saudi Arabia, and everything was brand new to both us and them. It doesn't really happen often that you have a completely new country on the market. New destinations are possible, but a new country is quite rare to open. So I think one of the things about the Saudi Arabia is that it's exotic. Like, people don't really know what to expect. There is a lot of prejudice, I would say, around the world about what Saudi Arabia is. When I went down there, my grandmother said, "Oh, do you really have to go? Like, be very, very careful down there." And, you know, in our head, Saudi Arabia is one of these closed dictatorship, extremely religious countries, and, you know, where no fun is allowed and all that. And it's not. It's wonderful. The country is beautiful. The people are extremely friendly and very hospitable. The food is great. It's very, very safe. It's one of the safest countries I have ever been to. It has a lot of history and culture to offer, but I think one of the exciting things about it is also that locals still don't see cruise industry as a business. They really are happy to see you, not just for the sake of, you know, you are a guest bringing money into the country, but really genuinely just happy to see you there, to welcome you, to show you around. They are, as Miguel mentioned, they are still lacking an infrastructure that will come with time, that will develop with time, but definitely a country with a huge, huge potential for cruise business.
Miguel, how do you communicate also to future passengers to attract them to this very new cruise destination?
That's a great question, and thank you for asking me that question, because this is the key, right? We can build the infrastructure, we can change the laws, make it more, make it easier for cruise line to come, but unless we market and unless we tell the consumer, we raise awareness, we're not going to be successful. So one of the initiatives that Saudi Arabia has done is to actually join different organizations like MedCruise, like CLIA, like WTTC and others. We participate in different forums. We try to explain to travel agents, you know, inside and outside Saudi Arabia, what are the, you know, what are the products, what is the potential for the tourism attractions here, and we bring them. We had several trips, fun trips with travel agents from outside the kingdom who came and visited, and they went away, you know, very much impressed, you know, for what they saw. Definitely the one of the key elements, and there are many things that are very good about this project, but I can tell you that one of them is the hospitality, and I think, you know, Zeljka mentioned it very clearly. They don't, the locals are not after your money. They don't even, I mean, they're just hospitable, and it's very safe. And I went to Jambu when I arrived in February 2021, and I had lunch in a restaurant that is over 100 years old. And I can tell you that if I take a picture, if I had taken a picture 100 years ago, it still looks like that. Okay, it hasn't changed. So it's very authentic, and people were not asking for anything. They were not asking me like, bring more ships or how many port. No, they were just hospitable. They were just like, you know, you're visiting us and we're going to give you the best food that we have. So this is what we need to communicate, and this is what we need to show outside, you know, to our international potential cruise guests that Saudi Arabia has to offer. But I think also the locals are discovering their country. For many years, Saudi used to travel outside, and because of the pandemic, they were not allowed to travel. So the government actually created a domestic program for tourism, local tourism. So a lot of them went on local vacations, and they went to discover Asir, which is in the mountains. They went to discover, you know, the Red Sea on the north, to Tabuk, which is in the border with Jordan, and the geography looked completely different. So these are some of the initiatives that actually were taken, not only to raise awareness outside, but also within the kingdom.
Right.
Miguel, you were talking about creating new models before. Passengers are willing now to have a positive impact in the destinations they visit. Which actions do you take, especially in some preserved locations such as Jabal Ali Islands?
Right. So one of the things that we did early on, and you know, I'm wearing my cruise hat when I did this, was to create a charter of cruise operations in the Red Sea. You know, not all cruise ships are the same, right? We have great cruise vessels with a lot of technology, and cruise lines that continue to invest in sustainability and better, sustainable products. So we created this charter with different, which was actually a mix of what are the minimum requirements in accordance to international and local laws, and what are some suggested practices for the cruise lines to operate. We started to self-regulate ourselves because there's no regulator for the Red Sea yet. It's about to be formed pretty soon. But since we were bringing the ship, we wanted to make sure that the ships that were coming here actually were ships that were going to be above the minimum standards. We shared information with Scenic, we shared information with MSC, and both of them actually exceeded our expectations. We're going to be very careful with the cruise lines that come here because we need to preserve the environment. We need to preserve Jebel Ali Island and others. And I can tell you that the process for building on the water or creating ports is very rigorous here, extremely rigorous. And there is a lot of attention now on preserving, these islands. There's a lot of attention on master planning for sustainable tourism options. So things are not being left adrift, but still there is a lot of planning and consideration into creating destinations that are going to be properly managed.
Good.
So Jennifer, the same question for you. The National Park of Doñana, which has been declared Biosphere Reserve and World Heritage Site by the UNESCO, is one of the most important and protected areas in Europe, having the Iberian lynx and numerous migratory birds, such as the flamingos, like you said before. Do you have special actions or collaborations to promote this particular preserved area?
Yes, Lorenzo, yes. Doñana, as you said, is undoubtedly one of the most spectacular places, not only in Huelva, but also in Europe. The Doñana National Park is a diversity of ecosystems, which a unique biodiversity in Europe, with an extraordinary importance as a passage, breeding and wintering place for thousands of European and African birds. As you said, the park is home for unique species in danger of extinction, such as the Iberian imperial eagle and the Iberian lynx. But in addition to Doñana, Huelva is surrounded by many natural areas. It is the second most important wetland on the Andalusia coast, with 7,000 hectares, with more than 300 bird species. And for the preservation of these areas, the Port of Huelva has taken part in actions such as the environmental recovery of the Olier estuary. It is a project for the conservation of habitats, ecological values, and social issues in the areas of marshes and dunes, beaches that are located in the Port of Huelva. And for example, the planting of autochthonous species in the marshes. The Port of Huelva obtained the PER certification every 2 years. And that certified that it is a green port since 2016. It is part of EcoPort system, which is the leading environmental initiative in the European port sector. The general principle of EcoPort is to raise awareness about environmental protection through cooperation and knowledge exchange between ports and to improve environmental management. Other action that the Port of Huelva is making is the educational program associated with the restored for port marshes in Huelva estuary, collaborated with many organizations on protecting species that coexist in the port environment. And they collaborate, Port of Huelva collaborate with organizations such as Sea of Bird Life or the University of Huelva, organizing also journeys with activities both on foot or by bike, as well as sighting days and boat trips for citizen and school community for showing the fantastic treasure we have and how to have to preserve it. So they are examples of of action that the Port of Huelva does.
Great.
Thank you. Zeljka, time's flying. As a conclusion, what would be the 5 only positive things in your dream destination?
Well, to begin with, I would say number one is a unique story. So I think every destination has its own unique story, and sometimes destinations, when they are setting up, go into direction what the tourists want to see, and then let's see how we can provide what they want to see. And I think that's a wrong approach. They should start with what we have, what is unique for our destination, and then how we can present that to tourists rather than going, and building a golf course or, whatever else that they think that tourists want. I think it should start with their own story. And sometimes it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be a local culture, a local artist, local graffitis, dances, traditions. So it really can be a huge variety. But I think the destinations that profile themselves as a unique for something are always benefiting from that, because you are starting with what you are rather than trying to adjust to the others. The other thing that is like on a wish list of a good destination are good infrastructure, of course, buses, public toilets, guides. Guides are like, if you have to invest into something, invest into good guides. Guides are the ones that are making or breaking destination. Good guides will tell your story and will bring it up. Even if you just have a stone to show, the good guide can make a good story out of that one stone. So it's all about the story. It's all about the presentation. So I think all destinations should consider investing in a guide training, local guides training that will be able to bring your story to life once the guests are there, and to allow this cultural interaction. So people, when they go home, they remember your destination for what it is. You are not just one of the castles or one of the churches in the row of 7 or 10 day cruise, but they remember Peter or Jennifer from Huelva who told us this and this, and people in Huelva do this, and or Saudi Arabia's they when we were in Jeddah and then we went to this restaurant and local guide Muhammad by name told us this and this. So this is what is creating the experience. This is what creates the destination. The third thing, obviously, sustainability. I've been talking about it, and I think we all have been talking about the sustainability. I think it's of greatest importance to make sure that whatever is happening in destination is sustainable, both for local people and for tourists. It has to be a collaboration between cruise industry and the local destination. So it's a win-win situation. So it's not that cruise guests are chasing the tourists out of the old towns of destination, and then you only have souvenir shops and restaurants and bars, and locals move to another parts of the city. I think it has to be a collaboration in a way where those two things coexist together and benefit from each other. And then, of course, this learning and discovery element. Jennifer also mentioned educational tours. I think as a travel industry, we are moving a lot of people around. We are moving thousands and millions around the globe, and we have to accept our responsibility in education of these people. So it's not just an Instagram photo. It's not just, all the fun. I think we all have to accept that we are whether we want it or not, we are influencing the lives of these people. And with that, we have to accept that we should also use that opportunity to teach them about other cultures, to teach them about the nature preservation, to teach them about how impactful humans are on their ecosystems and on their cultural ecosystems, not just the nature ones. So I think the tours should always also have this educational element that tourists should be respectful to the local culture, and they come out at the end of their cruise or their tour as enriched human beings, where they learned something new, where they discovered something new. So it was not just, you know, okay, taking an Instagram photo next to whatever famous monument there is there. And like we are a small luxury cruise line, so it always makes us happy when we are the only ship in the port on the day. So all the small ports that can only accept one ship, yay, here we come. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So last question for you, Miguel. What is the next step for Cruise Saudi in terms of destination development?
Well, we're building our infrastructure, and last year we started by creating a home port facility out of the existing ferry terminal in Jeddah. We are in the process of planning new ports. Currently, we have activated 3 ports, 2 on the Red Sea and 1 on the Arabian Gulf. There are plans to activate more destinations on the Red Sea. In addition to that, as we've been discussing, the development of human capital and education is very important to us as we move forward. So we are investing in or participating in the training of travel agents, the training of tour guides. If our international guests are coming, we need tour guides that can actually speak other languages. So this is something that, you know, we're trying to promote, and we're supporting that. The partnerships are important. So we're going to continue with our international partnerships. We partnered with Scenic. Scenic Eclipse was the first ship, one of the first ships that came in. They helped us to explore the untouched, you know, beauty of the Red Sea, and it really helped us. We partnered with the MSC Bellissima, and again, they've been sailing since July last year, and spent many months here. So together we learn a lot about the market. We learn about how we need to continue to do this. Cruise Saudi is also investing or actually partnering with the Amman Group, and we form a joint venture, and we are building a yacht. And again, this is one of those initiatives that are going to support the cruise tourism. So there's a lot of things that we're working on, and clearly finding and promoting and making our partnerships stronger, both in locally and international, is one of our top priorities.
Same question for you, Jennifer. What's the next step for Huelva to develop the destination?
Well, always there are a lot of things to do, you know, but let me say 2 things, okay? One, on the one hand, we believe that for a real development of the city as a destination, all the public administration must work together, okay, to achieve the objective. Currently, we have developed Huelva Cruise Network, which is a working group with private companies and public administration, working to offer a better services according to the needs of the cruise companies. But for the future, we believe it is necessary to establish joint actions to help position Huelva as a destination. And on the other hand, it is necessary for city actions, creation of new spaces and rehabilitation of the cultural and historical heritage. All these activities complement the existing tourist offer. But we have to remodeling and develop some projects in the Port City area to make more attractive to passenger the world. So the Port of Huelva start doing some of them, such as the rehabilitation of the asset of the Rio Tinto company Mineral Wharf, which was the infrastructure for the world capital of copper export in the 19th century. The Paseo Del Rey is another one, a promenade which is 100-meter long. It was built in 2017 and awarded with the Andalusian Town Planning Award in 2017 by the Ministry of Environment and Territorial Planning of the Regional Government of Andalusia. And we have remodeled the Columbus Monument, donated to Spain by the United States in 1929, and also its surrounding and another thing. And now at this moment, in loading wharf of the Spanish Tarsus Mining Company since 1871, which is close to the berthing line for cruises, is under rehabilitation. So we expect to have ready a new space for cruises as soon as possible, and I think it's going to be very nice.
Thank you. Now we are opening the floor to you. If you have any questions, you can write them in the chat section, or please raise your hand if you have anything to ask to our guest or to the secretariat or to us. No question? No? So, Lorenzo, do you have any message for our members?
Yes, of course. I'm a great talker, you know. Thank you, everyone, for this beautiful morning coffee. Thank you, Zeljka, Jennifer, and Miguel. It's a great way to start the week. Today is Monday. So before I said goodbye about destination development tasks, please, if you have any idea, any project, any doubt, don't hesitate to reach me. I'm here to build something unique. So your collaboration is the key on this process. Thank you very much. And now my dear colleague Anne-Marie is going to close. It's lovely always to be with you, Anne-Marie.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all of you. Thank you, Zeljka, for inspiring us on what to do to build a unique destination for our guests. Follow her on LinkedIn. It's my tip for this morning. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Miguel. I am so pleased that we have the opportunity to get to know better two unique destinations of MedCruise, Huelva and Cruise Saudi. And thank you, Lorenzo, for being by my side once again. You are now a pillar of the morning coffee. Stay with us. We're going to take a family picture as usual, and then stay with us just a little while, because we'll be joined by our dear Madam President Figen with a special guest. It's going to be a surprise. So, Anya, please, can we take our family pictures, please?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Give me a smile. Please. One more. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Okay.
Thank you. So, building a unique destination often means going out of the track, and it's actually what we are going to do now. Dear Madam President, dear Figen, thanks for joining us this morning. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Anne-Marie. That was another beautiful morning coffee. And I would like to truly thank Zeljka and Miguel, Jennifer, and all the attendants, and for you, Anne-Marie, for building up such a beautiful project and discussion. The thing is, I would like to go back and have a thought of prayers and also of support to our friends in Ukraine and the Black Sea region as well. I think it's key. Odessa is our port member, and I would like just to state in an oral way as well that from the 24th of February, your association has been side by side with Odessa and the Black Sea region as well. And I would like, and I wanted to raise awareness and have a different approach to this tragedy, because whenever we're opening the TV, it's actually very difficult to handle all the images. So we have been doing, and we have been sharing, experiencing in a very deep manner. And like Zeljka said, I think that traveling is an international and a common art that we are just doing in a very natural way. And MedCruise is a great association where we have the possibility to bring our art together, to bring our destination through our heart, through our eyes, through our field to the outside world. So in that prospect, I wanted just to close this morning coffee with a message of hope, and by inviting actually a very valuable colleague of mine, Miss Chala. She is actually the art consultant for our Doge Group, which is the company owning Galata Port and one of the largest conglomerates of Turkey. And you know, yesterday when I was looking at the TV, I have started seeing very different artists who were expressing their thoughts, their feeling, and they were just transmitting a message of peace through their art. And I thought, and I strongly, and I'm strong believing that art is a vessel to express our message of love, of peace to the outside world, and that is an international language. So in that sense, I wanted to invite Chala so that she can give us an idea about how art is an international manner of reaching the outside world. And that's exactly what we're doing, and give us a message of hope. So I would like to truly thank you for joining us and entering in the cruise industry, and thank you very much for accepting our invite.
Well, thank you very much. I feel very privileged to be part of today's morning coffee, for sure. And for this, I extend a warm thank you to everyone present. I hope that you remain well and safe. The concept of your morning coffee is a wonderful idea, since I believe, as each one of us do so, that healthy communication is one of the highest forms of art. Like you are doing every week, I believe, coming together and not just listening to, but hearing out and responding to one another is a fundamental step towards a peaceful and harmonious living. I am very kindly invited to today's morning coffee to say a few words on the healing aspect of art, and whether we may seek and find hope and solace through art. As I am very kindly introduced, my name is Chala, and I work as the art consultant to Doğuş Group, based in Istanbul, but operates internationally. And part of the things that we do are in food and beverage and hospitality. So we're not very far away from what you are doing. So most of my work is in the artistic and cultural side of the investments, some of which are social responsibility projects. We invest in and sponsor museums and archaeological sites, and support people in the arts industry by creative, hopefully, projects. For many years, I offered courses in art history in higher education and discussed how art has evolved throughout the centuries, from being spiritual images and objects to being propaganda tools, to being decorative, beautiful, valuable objects, and then to being tools of social critique, and how it still continues to evolve as the ideologies change around the world. Well, in the modern era, we have come to expect art to be created by an individual with free will. I think that is really important, and a form of expression by a genius, or at least a talent, for today's understanding. In the modern era, when we define art as a unique and original thing, exemplary, produced by a genius, we have come to expect it as a form of communication, giving out messages, whether the artist has the intention to do so or not. And all the paintings, sculptures, the architecture, and all the beautiful objects created prior to the modern era, most of them produced under the command of an authority figure, have come to be accepted as art today since they have entered the art circle. That is, they are being presented, shown in museums, they are being sold in art auctions, and they enter art collections. George Baselitz once said, and this is interesting, it's quite, we can contemplate on this. He said that the artist is not responsible to anyone. He also said that the artist asks no questions, makes no statement, offers no information or message or opinion. Now, we can debate this. We can be for this or against this. And even if this may be true for some artists, and that they assume no social role, their works, once completed and out of their studio, the artworks become part of the social and artistic environment. And of course, there is the artist with his own understanding, but then there is also the public, the surveyors of art with their own understanding. So how art functions within societies is not very simple. There are social, cultural, political, and economic factors that constantly evolve and change and affect how we perceive the outside world, the world around us. And artistic production is not an exception to this. Even if the artist does not choose to be socially involved, the artwork, as it enters the cultural or the economic system itself, inevitably becomes a social agent. And so that brings us to the point today that whether, and I don't think there is a debate about it, but all artworks assume a social function. And art has a function in societies, and whether we may or may not be conscious of it, all art operates within our everyday life. It's a little piece of music we hear as we pass by an establishment, or a poster on the streets, a painting in a gallery. These are all talking to us, sending out emotions, sending out messages. It is up to us, of course, to perceive these messages in our own way, to accept it or to decline it. The moment we come across a work of art, it starts interacting with us on many levels. Some artworks humor us. For example, I really find it funny and intelligent. William Hogarth's engraving series, Mariage à la mode. The artist criticizes the modern marriages, makes fun of it, but at the same time, he is very intelligently making a social critique of the society. And then, of course, there are paintings, artworks that startle us with their beauty. Monet's Water Lilies. And then, of course, some startle us with their riches, like the golden casket of Tutankhamun. And then there are, not all artworks are pretty, not all of them are beautiful, but there are artworks that startle us, upset us, saddens us, horrifies us, like Goya's engraving series on the disasters of war, or the, of course, very well-known Guernica by Picasso. So all of these are, well, the last examples at least are powerful anti-war statements in their own way, and they continue to give universal messages even today, maybe even more so today. So such artists throughout history, their works make us rethink, reevaluate. They make us become aware of things we may have missed out on, feel certain emotions, and they function, these artists function as social critiques, and they function as also social healers at the same time. And their messages are always very universal. So as we go through difficult and painful times, like today, unfortunately, we look for solace in things that may uplift our spirit. For some of us, it is the nature, the animals. For some, it is family time, literature, exercise, crafts, or art. And a mixture of these, of course, and other outlets and sources of joy and peace. Travel, by the way, is one of these for me, at least. Well, art definitely is an important channel for its creators to give out a message, to communicate on a universal level. And there are many intellectual, activist artists who apply their talent for the good of society. And as for us, the spectators, in art we find solace in the beautiful things created by man, in intelligent designs and compositions that stir our emotions and restore our faith in humanity. So maybe to wrap up, I'd like to say that definitely we are able to create as human beings beautiful things, positive things, and intelligent things. And we are able to communicate, share ideas and emotions, concepts, criticism, and solutions through art in a very powerful way, and definitely in a peaceful way. And I think that is really important. Well, thank you for opening the ground for me to share a few thoughts.
Thank you very much, Chala. And I will send actually on the chat box a video of an artist who was just playing cello right in the war zone in Ukraine. And I think that it's a manner for all of us to exercise our fears, our loneliness, and just to transmit a message of love and peace as well. So I would like really to thank you, Chala, for all of you for listening and for looking at what is going on around the globe in a different manner. Yeah, and thank you, Anne-Marie, for going off the beaten track.
Thank you, Figen. Thank you, Chala. Thank you to all of you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed this moment all together. I hope to see many of you in Miami for Scenic Cruises Global, and see you next month for another morning coffee. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.